Hey guys, how's it going? And thanks for coming. I'm Nick, and this is Real Life Money, where we talk about real life and money, because schools aren't. So let's get started. So are you looking for a job and need help with your resume and or cover letter? Well, in this video, we're going over how to write your resume and cover letters. I was helping someone out with this recently, so now my mind's wrapped around it, so might as well help you guys out as well. And if I'm looking for it, I'll probably come back to it as well. But if you guys are looking for a job and having trouble actually looking, I do have another video. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys of how to look for jobs, because that's the main part with a resume. First, you need to have one to relate to. So once you find that job, I'm going to assume that you have already, if not that video if you're interested. But this is where it all begins. Now, my experience with this stuff, I did do research looking into how to write good resumes, good cover letters. I went to the college resource place, but they helped me out as well. So first, when you have that job listing, that opportunity, the opening, scroll down to the qualifications. It's usually down toward the bottom, and actually look at them. Now, the qualifications is actually the most important thing about the job opening, guys. So, and it is also listed in order of importance. So whatever comes first in the qualifications is most important. And then the last couple ones are kind of just thrown in. They're not as important. For example, let's say the first qualification is, let's say, a bachelor's degree. And you don't have a bachelor's degree. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but they're probably not going to even look at your resume because you don't have that first main qualification. And this actually brings up two terms that are very important in the qualification section. The first term could be required, and the other one is preferred. We need to understand the difference. So first, let's look at required. Required means you have to have that. If it says bachelor's degree required and you don't have it, you're out of luck. But if it has bachelor's degree preferred, they would like you to have it, but you don't necessarily need it. So basically, go through that whole section, see if your experience, your schooling matches what they're asking for. Look at their requireds and preferreds. Preferreds are good because you don't need it. The good thing is, if you have it, that actually makes you look more attractive. So we looked at the qualifications. We meet the main points. Moving on to number 2. The second thing that we have to do to write a resume is the reason before that I stated that you have to have an actual job listing. You have to tailor the resume to the specific job. Does that mean you have to change your resume for every single job you post for? Yeah, kinda. Does that suck? Yeah, kinda. And just realize, guys, the people that are reading these, they could see the type of effort you're putting into it. If you're putting 10 minutes into a resume, they're going to feel like they're reading a 10-minute resume. If you put hours or days into it, the quality is going to be much better, and they're going to see that. So going back to the qualifications, I look at the qualifications hundreds of times. I go back and forth between the resume and the qualifications a bunch while writing the resume, because we have to tailor it to it. So you pick out the main points and focus on those main points. Moving on up to the third part of writing a resume is the structure of it. How the hell you're going to set it up. The first part is the easiest part, is your name. So your name's going to be at the top so everyone can see it, obviously, and then there's a little subsection to put your personal information, your phone number, email address. That's the easy part. At least I'm hoping that's the easy part. But After that top section, we would move on to, let's say, a summary. It could be a skill section or an objective. Of course, everyone's structure could vary. Maybe different industries might do different things. But for this section, if you decide to have a summary or an objective, it's basically a few sentences giving you an overview of your resume. These, let's say, 3 sentences, you want to hit these people with what you got. If they say they're looking for a degree, 2 years of experience, and knowledge about whatever, the stock market, then you're going to state, yo, I have a degree, I have 2 years of experience, and I know about the stock market. If you don't know about the stock market, maybe you could subscribe to my channel. Minus the word yo, but you put in what they want to see. Don't beat around the bush, guys. Hit it straight on. So after your few awesome sentences from your summary, objective, whatever you want to call it, we're going to move on to, it really depends on what the qualifications section, going back to that again, what order of importance it is. But usually the next section is education. So in the education section, you would obviously state the school you're going to, when you graduated, or when you're planning to graduate, and then there are bullets below that going into maybe the different courses that you have, some different projects, the skills you learned while doing these things, and you relate these bullets to the job. And a quick tip, look at the word choice or the different terms that they use in their job openings. You could pick similar words or even the same words as they use and incorporate them into your bullets. And remember to only relate to the qualifications section, guys, the important parts they're looking for. I don't care if you took badminton in college or what high school you graduated from. Although badminton is fun as hell, they don't care. So, after the education section, the next one could be, of course, depending on how you decide to set it up, but these are just different sections that you could use. Related experience. Whether you have a job that relates to the job you're going for, maybe an internship. So same idea, use similar keywords that they used and incorporate them into the new job and bullet it. So after the related experience, it could be previous experience, maybe you have past jobs that might not relate incredibly to it, but you could always manipulate it into, you could always push into what they're looking for. All these sections are very similar. Once you have the idea, those bullet points relate to the qualifications, you got it. And if you don't have, let's say, work experience, you just went to college and that's kind of it, you could put related projects. There are different things you've done in your classes, at least hopefully, that relate to what you're going for. Be creative. So that's kind of it for the overall structure and how to produce a resume. Last few ending tips real quick. When you're doing those bullet points in your, let's say, education section, your related experience section, start the bullet with an action word and verb, like performed whatever, or achieved this. So you state that and then you state what you did. It's more assertive, attractive, like you know what you're doing, like ah! And if you're around my age with, let's say, minimal to no experience, let's say, it should be a page long. Later down the road when you gain more experience, it could probably increase to 2 pages, but keep it 1 page and make sure you have enough of stuff, but not too much. Make sure you have white space on the page. So basically when you're finished, look at the page. If you're like, I don't want to read that crap, they're going to think the same. By literally the visualization, just the simple appearance of it. Make it neat. So we are done with the resume, guys. Thank God. I know it's dragging, it's going to suck, but we got to do it, right? So after completing the resume, we can move on to the cover letter. So the cover letter, the heading should mirror your resume. So however you have your name and your personal information set up on your resume, it should be essentially the same on your cover letter. So we got heading, moving on to Dear blank, and then you have colon. It's not a comma. I don't know why. It's just the right way. You put a colon, 2 dots, and not a comma after dear whoever we're sending it to. Now, who we're sending it to, most often it could be, let's say, hiring manager, maybe human resources representative, or sometimes they give you the actual name, or if you dig a little, you could find the actual name. That would obviously be the better choice of stating John Smith is going to read this bad boy. Moving on to the introduction. We got to look at the main points that they want. Again, qualifications section, guys. Main points, no hitting around the bush here. If they want this, this, and this, you give them that. Again, let's say they're looking for a degree, your college experience, related experience, different work experience. Look at the top qualifications they need you to have. Ending off the introduction with the thesis, fancy word saying the last sentence of the introduction. This is very important, guys. The thesis statement. You have to state specific examples of what you have for what they are looking for. So for example, we could pick 2, maybe 3 skills that they're looking for. Just list them for now. And then at the end of that sentence, just state like, I'm the man or woman for the job. Make them want to know more about you guys. You punch them in the face. So after punching them in the face, stating why you're a great candidate for the position, we will now move on to the body paragraph. So relating to the format of the cover letter, guys, this is just going to be a page thing, okay? But for the body paragraph, we are going to relate to the thesis statement that we have. Remember when we listed the different skills, let's say, that we're looking for? Maybe you have 2 or 3. Now we're going to go into detail about those 2 or 3. So we are going into specific examples for those 2 to 3 skills, and then relating those skills to the job that you're going to have. So this kind of shows what you have and what you can do for them. Again, that's for each skill. You do the same structure basically. And then the last sentence, it's kind of like an overview of the body paragraph, stating what you have for what they want for the job you're going for. And finally, after doing a lot of thinking, most likely, the conclusion, guys. The last paragraph of the cover letter, thank them for reading it. You don't want to write this. They kind of don't want to read it. At least thank them for doing something. Kiss ass a little. So once you thank them, state that you're interested in learning more about it. Tell them to contact you at any available time for them. Again, tell them that you're the man/woman. And then I give like another quick thank you. And then just remind them you're a great choice. Then finally say sincerely, comma, your name. Again, 1-page cover letter, guys. 1-page resume. And let's do some last tips for this, because you're going to need it when you are losing your mind while doing this, because it'll happen. Take a break. Walk away from it. Maybe for a little bit. Come back. Maybe a few hours. Maybe sleep, give yourself a day, and come back to it with a fresh mind. This also includes rereading it. Make sure there are no spelling mistakes. Punctuation, grammar, all that good stuff is spot on. If you miss anything, that shows that you are not professional. So make sure you know what you're doing and saying. And one last thing, just realize it's going to be sucky and boring. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. We gotta accept it. We have to do it. There's no way around it. Sorry. So I'm pretty sure I got the basics of everything for us, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Leave them down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Real Life Money, where we talk about real life and money, because not many people do, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck on getting that job you're going for. And I'll see you in the next one, because you're the man/woman. Go get 'em.